My necessaries are embarked. Farewell. And Ophelia, as the winds give benefit and convoy is assistant, do not sleep, but let me hear from you.
Do you know that?
For Hamlet and the trifling of his favour, hold it a fashion and a toy blood. Avoid it in the youth of privy nature. Forward not permanent, sweet not lasting. The succulence of a minute no more.
No, but so.
Think it no more. For nature crescent does not grow alone enthuse and bulk, but as his temple waxes, the inward surface of the mind and soul grows wild withal. Perhaps he loves you now, and now no soil nor caudal may besmirch the virtue of his will, but you must fear. His greatness weighed, his will is not his own, for he himself is subject to his birth. He may not, as unvalued persons do, crave for himself. For on his choice depends the health and sanctity of this whole state. Therefore must his choice be circumscribed unto the voice and yielding of that body whereof he is the head. Therefore, if he says he loves you, it fits your wisdom so far to believe it, that he in this particular force and sect may give his same deed, which is no farther than the main voice of Denmark goes withal. Then weigh what loss your honour may sustain if with too credent ear you list his songs, or lose your heart, or your chaste treasure open to his unmastered importunity. Fear it, Ophelia, fear it, my dear sister, and keep you in the rear of your affection, out of the shot and danger of desire. The chariest maid is prodigal enough if she unmask her beauty to the moon. Virtue itself escapes not calamitous strokes. The canker gals the infants of the spring too oft before their buttons be disclosed, and in the morn and liquid dew of youth, contagious blasphemous are most imminent. Be wary. Best safety lies in fear. Youth to itself rebels, though none else needed.
Shall the effect of this good lesson keep as water into my heart? But, good my brother, do not, as some ungracious pastors do, show me the steep and thorny way to heaven, whilst the often reckless libertine himself the criminal path of downwards, and recks not his own greed.
Oh, fear me not. I stay too long. Oh, but here my father comes. A double blessing is a double grace. Occasion smiles upon a second leave.
What here, Laertes? Aboard for shame? The wind sits in the shoulder of thy sail, and thou art stayed for. There, my blessing is with thee, and these few precepts to thy memory, see thou, character. Give thy thoughts no tongue, nor any unproportioned thought is apt. Be thou familiar, but by no means vulgar. The friends thou hast, grapple them to thy soul with hoops of steel. Beware of entering into a quarrel, but, being in, fear that the opposed may beware of thee. Give every man thine ear, but few thy voice. Take each man's censure, but reserve thy judgment. Costly thy habit as thy purse can buy, but be not expressed in fancy. Rich, but not gaudy, for they in France of the best rank and station, or of the most high station, chief in that. Neither a borrower nor a lender be, for loan oft loses both itself and friend, and borrowing dulls the edge of husbandry. This above all, to thine own self be true, and it must follow. As the night the day, thou canst not then be false to any man. Farewell. My blessing, season this in thee.
Most humbly I take my leave, my lord.
The time invites you. Go, your servants tend.
Fare thee well, Ophelia. And remember well what I have said to you.
'Tis in my memory, Lord, and you yourself shall keep it. you.
Farewell.
What is it, Ophelia, he hath said to you?
So please you, something touching the Lord Hamlet.
Marry well bethought. 'Tis told me he hath oft of late given private time to you, and you yourself have of your audience been most free and bounteous. If it be so, as so 'tis put on me, and that in word of caution, I must tell you, you do not understand yourself so clearly, as it behoves my daughter and your honour. What is it between you? Give me up the truth.
He hath, my lord, of late made many tenders of his affection to me.
Affection? Pooh! You speak like a green girl, unsifted in such perilous circumstance. Do you believe these tenders, as you call them?
I do not know, my lord, what I should think.
Marry, I'll teach you. Think yourself a baby that you have taken these tenders for true pay, which are not sterling. Tender yourself more clearly, or, not to crack the wind with a poor phrase, running it thus. You'll tender me a fool.
My lord, he hath importuned me with love, in honourable fashion,
Ay, fashion you may call it. Go to, go to.
and hath given countenance to his speech, with almost all the holy vows of heaven.
Ay, springs to catch woodcocks. I do know when the blood burns how prodigal the soul lends these tongue vows. These blazes, daughter, giving more light than heat, extinct in both, even in their promise as it is a making, you must not take for fire. From this point, be something scanter of your maiden presence. Set your entreatment at a higher rate than at a command to parley. For Lord Hamlet, believe much in him that he is young, and with a larger tether may he walk than may be given you. And you, Ophelia, do not believe his vows, for they are brokers. Not at that die which their investments show, but mere implorators of unholy suits, breathing like pious and sanctified bawds, the better to beguile. This is for all. I would not from this time forth have you so pleasure any words or talk with the Lord Hamlet. Look to it, I charge you. Come your ways.
I shall obey, my lord.